It's that time of the week where we celebrate debate superhero Jessica Tarlov as she wages a one-woman war against the Legion of Doom that is the Fox Propaganda Network. And in this instance, she's defending President Biden's recent trip to Hawaii, as well as the Biden administration's response to the Maui wildfire. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. Maybe check out my Patreon. I'd appreciate the support. All right, folks, so let's jump in. We've got a couple of clips here of the Fox program called The Five. And again, as I've told you before, it should be called 4v1 because Jessica Tarlov, again, she's Neo in the Matrix. She is Optimus Prime in the second Transformers movie. She is, she is just outnumbered all the time in enemy territory against a hostile audience, and she more than holds her own. And obviously, bad faith Republicans and their bad faith conservative surrogates in the media are using everything, anything. They're desperate, scrambling for something to tar and feather President Biden and the Biden administration, even when there's really nothing of substance. So in this particular clip, she goes on just a fact check spree. She's just cutting fact checks, signing them, and sending them out left, right, and center. So take it away, Jessica.
But there have been so many craven lies told about the timeline of the response on this. Jesse just said his first comments were no comment, which is categorically untrue. So that was on August 13th.
So let's think about this here, folks. Right there, right out the gate, Jessica Tarlov just referred to, she just did something incredibly brave, I think, under the circumstances, again, knowing that, she just called out her co-host by name, Jesse Waters, okay, who is the new Tucker Carlson, as far as Fox News is concerned. He is Tucker Carlson's heir apparent. And she's sitting right beside him, and he has 3 sycophants on his side. And she just looked him in the face and said, "You just told a craven lie, Jesse Waters." She said, "Craven lie, Jesse Waters." That is incredibly brave. Let's continue.
The wildfire started on August 8th. On August 10th, that's when a major disaster declaration occurred. He got the request from Hawaii to do that. It took him just 63 minutes to sign that.
You signed a piece of paper. I'm talking about significant public comments.
So here's what's hilarious. See how Jesse Waters moves the goalpost. So what he wants, or what he says he wants, he actually doesn't want this. It's whatever the opposite of what Biden did is what Jesse Waters happens to want at the time. So what he's saying is, signing an executive order, an emergency disaster relief request that will actually send federal government resources to Hawaii to help people. That's just like small potatoes. Where were his public remarks? As if Biden's public remarks have a direct impact on anybody. Certainly the words of a sitting president are incredibly powerful, but it's not like he's God. It's not like Biden says something and then speaks it, wildfire, go out, and then the wildfire just trickles out. Biden signing that piece of paper is infinitely more important to those in Hawaii. It has much more of a direct immediate impact on the people of Hawaii than Biden's words. But again, he's just moving the goalposts. It's whatever the opposite. Oh, Biden did something as opposed to, just saying something. Where were his words? Where, you know what they say, words are louder than actions.
Wait for it. And then later that day, he was in Utah talking about something else, and he opened up by commenting on what was going on in Hawaii and how devastating it was. Listen to what the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, said. "Within 6 hours, the administration met our needs with federal movement. I don't think that's ever happened before." The Maui County mayor, "I wanted to say how responsive the president has been. He called me. I asked for the help that we needed. And within 2 hours, one of his cabinet members called me to answer my question. We've been getting all the help that we need."
That's the Maui mayor. Just pointing that out.
Right. And you don't think at a time.
So that's the funny thing. So actual public officials with considerable power and resources and information, the people who actually coordinate with the federal government. You have the chief local official, the mayor of Maui. You have the governor of Hawaii, Governor Green. And then you have the president of the United States. And the mayor and the governor are saying, yeah, the president has been timely, he has been diligent, and we've been getting all the help that we need in a timely, diligent manner. And Greg Gutfeld's like, well, those are just like, it's just like a mayor and a governor saying that. I mean, who cares what they have to say? I hate to tell you, I hate to sound like this shouldn't be particularly controversial, but in times of a crisis, in terms of being able to get accurate information and to understand that crisis better than anybody, your public officials are probably the opinions that matter the most in terms of, again, hey, when we say that our needs are being met in a timely and diligent way by the president, they would be the ones to know, right? But of course, he's trying to downplay it.
When there are hundreds of people dead and there's another 1,000 people that are missing, that the Maui mayor wouldn't have said, Joe Biden is lying to you when he says that they care.
Oh, you got to be nice. You got to be nice. You have to be nice because you're hoping for something.
You're hoping for all the things that he got. The FEMA aid came in. I saw Republicans criticizing him. Why do you only give them $700? That's the FEMA limit. This thing about the ground, the hot ground, he was talking to a dog whose paws.
Right. So a couple of things there, and some of this we've covered before. But again, Gutfeld and Waters and all of them, how they moved the goalpost. Okay, so they're like, listen, the governor and the mayor, I mean, I'm not saying that they're lying, but they got to suck up. I mean, it is truly a feels over facts thing to them. The governor and the mayor would be the ones to know. They would also be the ones under public pressure if President Biden wasn't meeting their needs. Their own constituency would be pushing them, hey, you need to shame, you need to call out the Biden administration, you need to draw attention to it. The fact that they're not doing that, the fact that they're relatively satisfied with how the Biden administration has responded should be taken as proof, unless proven otherwise, unless Gutfeld and Waters actually have evidence to the contrary, which of course they don't, that Biden is somehow derelict in his duty. But again, they don't need facts, they've just got the feels. And then as far as the other stuff, again, it's true. Conservatives, including Judge Jeanine Pirro on that panel, were complaining that Biden's only sending $700 in aid. We're sending so much money to Ukraine, and if we can send so much money to Ukraine, then why can't we send more for our citizens? Except the thing is that the $700 limit, that is a limit. That's just not an arbitrary number. That is all that FEMA is congressionally authorized to give in terms of assistance in this situation. It's not Biden's fault. And then, of course, with the situation with the dog that she mentioned there at the end, Republicans misfired tremendously. And during President Biden going out and shaking hands and giving condolences, there happened to be a service dog right in line along with them. It's not like he neglected somebody to go pet a dog. The dog was right there, and he just petted it. It was a completely human interaction that Republicans are so desperate to dunk on, and it backfired in a spectacular way. But that just goes to show you how deranged they are. They have Joe Biden derangement syndrome. You heard it here first. Continue, Jessica. This is the second clip.
Okay, great.
I think they're really good. Okay, so the judge knows how government budgets work. The money for Ukraine has nothing to do with the money for Hawaii. I also did not hear this kind of criticism of Donald Trump's characters when he threw paper towels at people in Puerto Rico, or comment about the IG report from the housing department that showed the $20 billion of aid was with.
Whataboutism? We're talking about Joe Biden and the American people. No one else.
No, you're talking about this person being uniquely unempathetic, incapable of connecting with people, and a liar.
Well, look.
So that's the point right there. She's right to call it out. Judge Jeanine Pirro can clutch her pearls all she wants and pretend that, whataboutisms. Everybody engages in whataboutism, especially when they feel that the standard is not being uniform, that there are double standards being employed. So whataboutism has its place in a conversation, because you shouldn't be dealing with an interlocutor or somebody in a debate who holds one standard at a certain point in time when it benefits them, and then changes that standard at a different point when it benefits them again. Then it's okay to unleash a whataboutism, and Jessica Tarlov is absolutely correct. If Donald Trump were in this position right now, you would be singing his praises, you would be fawning over him, you would be laying prostrate on the studio floor, bowing to the Don. But you're not doing that here. And again, you don't have to, but at least like a uniform standard would be nice, right? The fact of the matter is that according to all evidence that we have, President Biden is being diligent and empathetic in terms of his outreach and his commitment to support the people of Hawaii. And there is nothing that the Fox Propaganda Network can say to contradict that fact, no matter how much they want to try to dunk on the president for petting a dog.